just for our people, for themselves and their walk with Jesus, it gives them a glimpse into the nature of who Jesus was. The Bible says he humbled himself and made himself a servant, and I think you get a glimpse into the fullness of like the nature of Jesus by serving.
I think serving is super important in the church. I mean, that's where we see the most servanthood.
You think you're making a sacrifice, you're giving your time, your energy to come do something for children's ministry, for college, whatever it is, but I think that at least I know in my experience, I'm always surprised and encouraged by how much I get back from serving, just in gaining a greater sense of ways that God has gifted me. I think serving reveals that to you, what your passions are, what your giftings are.
Truthfully, we wouldn't even be able to do our jobs without our leaders and our volunteers and the people who serve.
Seeing some of those leaders walking through the lobby and thinking through the sacrifice they're making. I think of leaders who have multiplied out of groups where they found lifelong friends.
It's just incredible that the leaders that we have leading each other could absolutely carry on without me, which is the best thing ever. And so many of our leaders lead from personal experience too, which I love. You just mentioned that if you've been through something, you really understand and you get it. Whereas we couldn't meet all those needs by ourselves. We don't experience all those things. God uses their gifts and their experiences, and I love that.
When they come to us and they ask us, hey, can I do this thing? Hey, can I go out of my way, come up with these new ideas to reach my students? And my answer is always yeah, please do. I love our leaders because they're not just coming to check off the boxes that they talked in a small group or something like that, but genuinely caring for our students, seeing how they do day to day. And one of my favorite things is seeing the people, our leaders that have been with kids since 6th grade and where they're at junior, senior year. I think that's really cool.
Good morning. Glad to see the sun. Seeing the way in which they pray together beforehand. I talked to Jay Latchley a little bit about that, and Jay and Carrie have been serving there for years, but the way in which he talked about it allows them to go into their greeting with so much more intention of just being open to God's Spirit working and moving.
We have got, Molly Helm, who came up through our ministry and had Susan Miller as a 3-year-old teacher, and now that she's old enough and able to come and serve in a class, she wants to come and serve alongside Miss Susan.
Someone who this past year has just really stuck out to me by the way that she serves is Emmy. And she's just so selfless, so passionate and driven about the youth ministry in general. And she has such a gift in decorating and event coordinating and stuff like that. And she has just used those gifts so well, for the youth ministry.
I've been thinking a lot lately about Jasmine Caton, who really came as just a total newbie. She just showed up one morning to a Time for Women and just pressed in. Had the courage to make herself known, and she's an incredibly gifted teacher. And we've gotten to enjoy those gifts with community group leaders, with women, all the things, but she's also an incredible resource. She is just as happy behind the scenes, as she is up front, which is just such a gift.
College students, I think, are some of our biggest kids ministry champions. I think of Rachel Rowland and Gianna Arganbright and the people that they've brought in to come and serve alongside them.
Jake Hanratty, one of our college age kids, within the past month, we've had 3 applications come in from his friends who want to serve in children's ministry, just because I see what he does, and it's really cool. And he is asking for more responsibilities and more opportunities to minister to our kids. And I just think that is
teaching large group.
So cool.
Right? Yeah,
he's
so cool to see.
Going to take on a bigger role and teach in large group. Yeah.
Craig Moss, just seeing him step into things that we don't even ask him to do, like selling snacks and candy behind the Hub Cafe, or walking around during small group time because our police officer didn't show up, him just taking that responsibility on his own, but caring enough about his students to ask someone to replace him in there, knowing that his students still need someone there, And just seeing like those 10th grade boys just rally around him, like even when he's out there, they're coming out of small group trying to find him and talk to him afterwards. It's just been super cool to see, and I just see how much the students love him and just the wisdom he has.
I was thinking about Mallory, who was very resistant to becoming a small group leader in youth. She told me for 2 years that she didn't think she knew enough about the Bible, and she just didn't think she could do it. And there was a first-time guest a couple weeks ago that I was talking with her, and I like to ask the question, how'd you find out about doxology? And she said, well, there's this family, I'm an ag teacher at this school, and there's this family that I met, and they keep talking about doxology, and it was Mallory and her son. And so I'm like, not only did she finally step up to serve and has been doing it for years, but now she's got the confidence outside in her daily life with her kids at school, like you mentioned.
Yeah, the person comes to mind for me is Jacob Ziegler. I'm a little biased because he's in my DMG, but he is just one of those guys, kind of like what you were saying with Craig, but like whatever is needed, that's what he's going to be doing. He's going to do whatever needs to be done, but he's also going to be thinking the entire time of how we can do it better.
Yeah.
What can be done better? Not thinking like, oh, he knows everything, but instead of just saying, what is that next little step we can take? What's that next little thing that we can do to connect with the sixth grader? Mm-hmm. Like, what ways can we be better so that they can have a better experience and they can come to know Christ? Like, it's absolutely amazing.
It is fun thinking about the ones who are serving with our local partnerships, because people have caught the vision of saying, I really I want to significantly invest my time and energy in people outside of the church in order to make a difference.
Volunteers do that every single week and show people who Jesus is by just serving others.
When we're down, when we're running out of energy, to see our leaders step up and care so much, it's just that energy boost that pushes us through Stampede, pushes us through All In. I just love being able to get that energy of seeing them so excited to be with our students.
They live their life outside of here. It's not just what they do in the building, it's what they do, and they're living it out every single day.